Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of FSide DFS Fantasy NASCAR Picks. I'm your Smegger with 31. It's been a great NASCAR season so far. Truck race is the only race where I didn't make any money this year. Xfinity was back today, was good. Last weekend's Cup stuff was solid, especially on FanDuel. Shared with a takedown there, so second share and a takedown this season. One on DK on Xfinity and one in FanDuel here. So lots of good stuff. So it's been a pretty good start to the season. So hopefully you're uh, doing pretty well also. Appreciate the viewership. The videos last couple of weeks, um, a grand and a half views, 1.5K, outstanding. I super appreciate it. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. Charlie's doing some great soccer videos, baseball videos coming up too. So you never know what's gonna be on the channel. So you don't want to miss it. So subscribe to channels, turn the notification on so you know when our videos drop, and continue to like the videos, help drive it to the algorithm so other people who are looking for content like this for free can enjoy it, and also share with your friends. So appreciate that so much. I just got to say thank you. It's really inspires me to keep on doing all the research and the work to continue to bring these to you. So, and if you want to go deeper, as always, you can go to the description of the video and get into our Discord FSI. Speaking of success, spring training baseball, been really good there. Not many people are covering it. So if you want to jump in on that, it's relatively inexpensive and we've had some really good results also. There's probably been almost 6 or 7 slates where I've been like one player off of taking down the top prize. So it's been a good spring training. I've been paying attention since day one back on like February 21st or 22nd, and heading into the Major League Baseball season, pretty confident with what we have knowledge wise to help you do well early on in that. So go check that out. Okay, back to NASCAR. Las Vegas, truck race, the weather's kind of a concern. It was pretty nice here for the Xfinity race. It's going to be a little bit warmer than it was in practice and qualifying today. It's not going to be actually like 90s or like desert heat, but it's going to be warmer. And the weather conditions should be pretty solid. It's going to be an older track, so tire wear is starting to be more prevalent here. Again, we're not to the level of like the old Atlanta Auto Club, um, Homestead, some of the ones that were like just absolute cheese graters on the tires. But I think it's softer left for Goodyear package too here. So I think that the people that know how to take care of them is going to help. We saw a lot of practice is kind of hard because people were actually practicing and trying some adjustments for some of them. But usually the first group has a green track, and once they lay down some rubber, the second group is usually a little bit faster. So you got to take some of it with a grain of salt, but what really look at is usually long run speeds. So I have the top 20 here in column AI to kind of represent that for you. If they're blank, then yes, they still had 10 lap average, but just the top. If you put too many numbers on it, it just gets too confusing. So I like looking at kind of like the top 20. It looks like some of the cars, especially like the Penske cars, went out there in for hot laps and qualifying trim versus race trim. So we'll see how they are in the long runs. So you had some like kind of surprising names up top, which is good for this race because you want to try to with what 267 laps, I believe it is. You're looking for 2 to 3 dominators to get out there for laps led and fast laps. So I think early on, it's going to be hard because I don't really like anybody in the top five. We'll get to that in just a second. So early dominator, I mean, you might kind of mail that in and just try to get the second dominator and like the third dominator and try to nail them because I think they'll have the lion's share of um of the points for that. And races are pretty clean here, usually, maybe like a couple cautions for cause. You're not going to see like a huge wreck like Daytona or Talladega, and you're not going to see. I don't think it's going to go green all the way, but I mean, I think we're going to see some green flag runs. So as the tires fall off, handling. declines a bit. These cars are like Tonka trucks that we always said they can bang into each other a little bit and take a look in and still keep on ticking like a Timex watch or was it Rolex, whatever it was Timex was their slogan back in the day. But anyway, so let's get into the breakdown here. McDowell went out there and he was like middle of the pack for like long run speeds. So I, what happened is an upside dominator here. And again, I think some of these top five players are better placed on like FanDuel. I think he can finish in the top 15, but I think there's much better cars and much better now, Spire did talk about having they're leasing Hendrick engines and they're like have like access to like their notes and tech and stuff, and that's really helped the team here. But I just think that they set the car up to get on the pole and try to have a track position early and hold it, and versus like long run speed. So I think there's going to be some not some good fall off for McDowell here. Logano, again, they these Penske cars, I think they set them up to go qualify well, but he was 19th in practice. Now he has won two of these races here in the next gen car, so he knows what he's doing. He is a good driver. He kind of has a pit strategy that's like usually a little bit different, and he and his crew chief kind of have that planned to do things a little bit differently, zig when everybody else is zagging, and like Alex LeBay and Ryan Sieg are a little bit like that in Xfinity sometimes, and to try to get track position, try to capitalize on opportunities. So he might not have the fastest car, but his pit crew through strategy usually helps them do well. So do I think he's going to get up there and go out there and dominate early and be able to hold it and pay off his price at 95? I don't think so. I might play him at a couple GPPs. Definitely not going to touch him in cash. Now, the only thing that I do have um, kind of going for it is the race is sponsored by Pennzoil. It's a Pennzoil car. So obviously, they like to see their sponsors do well when they sponsor the race. So does that mean NASCAR cuts some brakes on things? If he's like at a speeding penalty, maybe they kind of look the other way or things like that. Jumps a restart. Who knows? I'm always a conspiracy theorist that I think that when the humans are involved in sports and making decisions on things that should be subjective, when money or self-interest or other things come into play, that sometimes we make decisions that influence things in a positive way to help our cause. Maybe I'm wrong, but I sometimes feel that way. So, sometimes think with that narrative that that might be a positive, but overall GPP play. Cindric's a fade. I think he's just going backwards here. Not that he's having a bad season, but I just don't really feel that. I think he's going to be in contention here for this one. Kyle Busch is intriguing. Kyle Busch is his home track. Kyle Busch has won here many times. Kyle Busch is outperforming expectations to begin the season. So he's been up there and contending for the lead and for races this early on this year. And I think it's just a matter of time before he breaks through. And even though he broke the streak last year of 20 straight years with having a victory, I think he gets back to victory in lane this year. Will it be in this race? I don't know. He's got a really good shot here, I think, just with his experience and knowledge of the track and how well he's done. And I think he's an upside dominator. I think he's definitely, when I build GPPs, going to be my first dominator. When I build cash plays, I just might fade all these ones that just start with like Bowman or Byron down there for that. Jones, again, he had some decent long run speed, but I just this legacy, the Toyotas haven't been really fast here other than the 2311s. Legacy just hasn't had speed. Eric Jones just doesn't seem like a top five driver. I just can't do it. So if you're mass multi entering and doing 150, yes, keep Eric Jones in there at like maybe 5% or less. But other than that, probably not touching him. Hendrick cars are super fast. Bowman, I think, usually has a safe floor. Usually we like him when he starts in the teens and then all of a sudden he finds his way into the top 10 and he just like he's kind of the silent assassin. Like I call him the lunchbox blue collar guy, just comes, punches the clock, does his job, goes home. Um, and usually pays off well with having some floor. But I think he can actually get up here past some of these ones with the speed that Hendricks had and maybe lead at some point in the race. So I can consider him a dominator, fifth overall in practice and long run speed. Lot to like there. Josh Berry, same story as Cindric and Logano. I think the Penske cars all got together and said, let's set these cars up to try to get track position early on and run hot laps versus race trim. And I think it's going to come back and bite them, and they're going to fall like rocks in the ocean, like once the race starts. Byron, yeah, he's probably going to get up there and dominate. Number two overall and fall off. Absolutely phenomenal in practice. He's just looked so good this season to start the season. Second only to Christopher Bell. So I think that he's definitely going to go out there, have a good day, get up there, and probably lead at some point and be able to pay off his 10K price tag with some dominator points and place differential and a great finishing position. Zane Smith, another Ford that just somehow got together and decided let's qualify well here. But if he wasn't even in the top 20 or maybe in the top 30 in long run speed and fall off, so fade for me. Better plays down below in same price play like Nemechek, Stenhouse, and Gillian. I'd rather play any of those over Zane Smith. I'll take the place differential over him getting up here. He's not going to lead. He's probably not going to hold it. And I don't think finishing position is going to be great either. Kyle Larson, my first prime play here. Always, always, always has run really well at this track. Six in practice and fall off. Besides the first year when he seemed to blow out more Goodyear tires than anyone when they first brought out this next gen car. Since then, he's been really good tire wear track. So really like Larson, and I'm definitely going to start my lineup with him. Busher, again, is GPP here because he did have a little bit of long run speed. And if you remember, like a couple years ago, he's always been good on like at Homestead Miami. He was out there like 2, 3 years ago, leading the race. He's always been good on tire wear tracks. I just it's got a 4x value, and that's kind of what I look for. So I toyed with him into cash. It's just started a little bit further back in the field, but 16th would fall off, which makes me think he could lose about 5 place differential points. So I like the play, don't love the play, can keep it in GPP. Last guy in, absolutely fine, no problem. There's not really many guys in the mid 7 range that you want to look at. Like Kozlowski's teammate, definitely. Um, but if last man in, if you want to be different, mass multi entering, I think that's where you play him. Reese, great job qualifying here. You're gonna drop like a rock. Also, can't do it. Gonna be fade. Christopher Bell won 3 straight. Has to start at the back of the field. Um, does that take him out of cash consideration? Absolutely no. I think he's going to be one of the higher sold drivers because people are, it's what have you done for me lately? The recency bias, they are going to take and continue to play him until he lets them down. I don't think he's going to let him down here, but it's going to take a lot to pay off the price tag. I like him in cash, but I just don't feel that he's a core play. I will play him. Probably in my main GPP. I kind of think that he fits in that build pretty nicely. So ninth and fall off, he should be able to get back up there eventually and probably run top 10. Don't know if he's going to lead laps or anything, but we'll see. I don't think he's going to win the race, but who knows? He's in really good form, so who can argue about it against that? Next up, we have Tyler Reddick, who is a solid cast play here. That can be highly owned. Could probably find another groove up against the wall. The 2311 cars look so fast out there, fourth and fall off. So just didn't qualify as well as we thought he would here. So it just makes him just such a really good play. It's going to be hard to get him in with like I'm trying to play Byron and Larson, like the three kings, which is usually what I call a lineup with three drivers over 10K. But there is enough value in the back of the field that should be solid enough if you want to go like the three kings lineup. You can make it happen. Okay. Hamlin and Elliott are going to be my 10K drivers here. Really like these two because I don't know why Chase Elliott has high ownership. That should have been a medium. Sorry about that. Um, I think that Hamlin, everybody's going to look at him. He's outside the top 20, but he never practiced well. He never goes out there and likes to show his cards, but he's been solid at Vegas. He's been solid in next gen car. And I think that he can definitely get up into the top 10, have some good finishing position, even though the Toyotas and the Joe Gibbs cars really weren't that super impressive out there. I think he's good long run, good tire wear management, even though like he didn't have practice long run speed. I think he was like working on some things, so it kind of screwed that up. I think that he's going to be way overlooked with all the other sexy plays, and I think that could be dangerous in a GPP. He could help you take down something and be a difference maker. Same thing with Chase Elliott. I think everybody's going to gravitate towards Byron and Larson and Bowman as like maybe an early dominator and kind of overlook Chase starting 16th and kind of forget that he is one of the Hendricks cars, even though people know that. I think that you can catch him napping there, medium ownership, and throw him in the 100K lineup. Ty Dillon, another guy, started way too far forward. Fade, no way. Super, super slow in practice, almost turtle slow. I don't know how the heck he qualified 17th, but congratulations on that. But that's the only nice thing we're probably going to be able to say about you tomorrow. AJ Allmendinger, GPP here. He's been solid on tire wear tracks, but like really just don't have the uh, long run speed or anything. It's just 6,600. I'd still rather pay like $100 less for Justin Haley and have so much more place differential upside, almost 17, almost double what you have um, here with AJ. So don't hate it, but probably not playing a lot of them, if at all. Ross Chastain, fastest car in practice here. Kind of biffed on the qualifying, so it's a great place differential play here. I don't know if he's going to go up there and dominate, but I think he definitely has a chance to get up there and run in the top 10, maybe in the top five. Passing through cars might get some fastest laps on the way. So cash play for me, and I think he'll have some decent ownership. Bubba Wallace, another 2311 car. I think that people are kind of going to look at his qualifying position at 20th and say no thank you. But I think he's got a lot of upside here. He's my third 100K guy. Number three overall in place differential. Or not place differential for fall off in practice. So I think I really, really like Bubba. And I don't you can maybe throw him in some cash lines too, but I really like. I think he's going to have medium ownership, and I want to capitalize that again. So I really like the core of Hamlin, Elliott, and Bubba Wallace. There's a lot you can do with that. Throw in some more chalky plays. That's like usually the way you want to play that one. Or you just don't want to go like all wild GPP. You're going to get absolutely nowhere. Trying to give you three plays. You only have to use three plays in the same lineup. Go with a whole chalky lineup and only play two of them. It's going to give you enough differentiation with these plays at medium to low ownership that it should help you set sail and fly all the way up the charts in the DFS contests. So next up, Noah Gregson, Austin Dillon, they're about $100 apart and miles apart with how I want to play them. Uh, Austin Dillon has just been very pedestrian start to the season. Nothing super exciting. Same thing for Gregson, but just Gregson and this team has so much upside. And he was 12th in 10 lap average there for fall off. So I'd like Gregson, almost a cash play potentially, and back up as GPP. And Austin Dillon is more like a GPP to a fade. So I don't think there's gonna probably get much out of that. Daniel Suarez has been solid here, good on tire wear tracks. 18th, which is kind of disappointing with 5 lap. Um, fall off there. So I think he's a solid play also coming in at over like 4.5x. Chase Briscoe, even though he had 20th in long run speed, I just 8,500. Just I don't see him get up there and leading laps, and the place differential looks nice, but the Gibbs cars just weren't together, and there's something off with the setup. They just didn't really nail it. I don't know if any of them can really get dialed in, besides like Hamlin, to get it fixed and to figure things out. So I'm just going to leave him on the bench this week and not play any Chase Briscoe. Carson Hocevar, 7K, very good floor price for cash. He was 10th in fall off, so that's definitely I think that he can get like potentially 15 place differential points if he can like hold a top 10 fall off speed. So I think there's a lot of nice things about Hocevar. Custer, he was always really, really good at tire wear tracks and at Vegas and Xfinity. I think it's going to transfer over here. I think he'll be fine in a solid cash play at 5,300. Keselowski, same thing. A lot more expensive, 2,200 more at 75. But if you're looking for somebody in the 7K range, he is off to a really good start. Have him come back just a little bit over 40 at 5.41x. That's outstanding if he has to help um, the team. I think like RFK, like the other guys like are way up there, and like he's way down here. So, you know what? Something must have happened in qualifying, but I think he's got the bigger upside than Busher and Priest do from the same team. Shane Van Ginsberger looked kind of lost out here in practice, really didn't have much speed. So I just think that he's going to just GPP because there's some place differential down here. He's got some talent as a driver. Maybe he figures out, maybe he doesn't, but I can't play that in cash. Ty Gibbs, I think a lot of people are going to gravitate towards him and think that I spent all this money on Ty Gibbs, and Ty Gibbs is going to finally put it together and figure it out. There's way too much talent, but they've messed around too much with like the team and the chemistry of it and the crew chief and the personnel, and it just isn't working. And I feel bad because like as much as like Ty Gibbs annoyed me to death when he was rubbing people the wrong way and getting in fights and not taking his helmet off and swinging at people that didn't have helmets on in Xfinity series. Like, I always felt bad that he lost his father like the day after he won the championship, and I think that he's a good kid. Um, and he really loves racing and comes from a great racing family and is a legacy and will eventually put it together. And like last year, he was knocking on the door. He's so close to getting that first victory. And now it just seems like he's so far away. Now he's not yet at the table with like Harrison Burton and John Hunter Nemechek the first time he was up in Cup and like some of the other ones that just flamed out, crashed and burned and really needed to go back to Xfinity, but I'm not even getting close to that. But I just disappointing is probably the word to say. So I think a lot of people are going to chase it and say like, it's Ty Gibbs. He's in a really good car, really good equipment. He's got really good place differential potential here. So I'm going to play him in cash. I think that's not the correct play. But GPPs, I absolutely love him because, again, if you're playing a more volatile line, if you try to play some balance and you take some shots on Gibbs and some other drivers, like only two or three, the rest of them are pretty sound, that could give you the differentiation if they do hit to be able to do well in a giant um, player pool contest. John Hunter Nemechek, I think he's solid down here, good at tire wear tracks, especially in truck and Xfinity. So I think Legacy hasn't had the speed, but I think there's a lot of upside for him down here. Same thing with Stenhouse. Stenhouse has always done well on steep tracks, not necessarily a Vegas guy with track history, but overall, I think like the $200 between these two drivers, very, very solid place differential plays and very, very solid plays that if you want to throw in like them and Custer, these like 3 5K range ones, then you can get like all the 10K guys in that you're looking for. Really helps you out. Gillian, usually a solid forward play, but again, not too high on the Fords here, and I think he's more of a GPP for me. Justin Haley is definitely a cash play down here. Inspire's been pretty good. Didn't have a great qualifying lap, but in practice looked really good, 13th in fall off. So he's definitely one that to keep your eye on. I think he's super, super solid. And then Riley Herbst at 54. Did DK mess this up? Did the algorithm get off or something? Like Riley Herbst is not on 54. He should be probably like $1,000 more here. Price around the same price as like Justin Haley. I know he's a rookie and everything, but Shane Van Gisbergen is not on a road course, so that's when they really price him up. But it's at least 6K. I think Riley Herbst is at least a good driver, like with all his Xfinity experience and everything, should at least be Shane Van Gisbergen racing wise. So let's take advantage of it. Awesome, awesome smash play here. Should easily get 5x. The 2311 cars were fast. Just had some incidents in qualifying. Isn't up there in the long run speed, but that's fine. I think that he'll figure it out and do well enough to get us. Like if he finishes 24th, that's like 10 place differential points at 54. I mean, that's a great Dave right there. So lock that in. Cody Ware is a punt if you need it. I don't really like it. Rick Ware cars tend to break down, and you saw in the Xfinity some of the cars in the back. Like it's not like a super short track where they catch them really fast, but eventually the slower cars, if it's long green stretches, will continue to fall lap after lap down. I think Cody Ware will be the one in the rear view for those. And then Ryan Blaney blew a tire, finishing or starting last, is scoring last, but he's not because Nemechek has to drop, which Nemechek, that doesn't matter. He's already 30th. He should easily be able to make his 6 positions back there. And like I said, Chris Bell's going to the back. So Blaney, congratulations. You already got a bump. You're technically starting 34th and scored as 36 because the at least 2 cars behind you, maybe more. Who knows if other people had changed things or fail like inspection in the morning or something like that. So, but Blaney is pretty much a lock and load play. He should be good here. I don't think he's going to go up there and like dominate and like win the race from starting dead last. He's not going to shotgun the field and get up to first. I mean, maybe he will if they, for some reason, they do like a weird pit strategy and short pit or something, or stay out. But I think he's definitely not a 36th place driver. He was 17th and fall off. That's almost 20 place differential points. I think you have to play Blaney in most of your lineups. Leave him out in a couple of them in case he like crashes first right away. And then, he's only going to get like 4 points for finishing 36. He's not going to lose any place differential, but that's not enough to take down a tournament or even cash probably in a GPP or a double up. So that's what I got for you. I really like this. I don't feel like there's like one chalk build. I've built like 4 or 5 lines that I kind of really like. So I do have one where I think all my primary cash is going on. I don't see a scenario where I feel I need to split cash. I think the hardest thing to nail is like the early DOMs. Like I said, I really don't like many of the top 5 ones. So I'm hoping like Bowman or Byron are the ones that kind of get it done. Like not super soon in the race, but like probably very soon in the race. So and be able to start capitalizing and get those points added up. So I got for you. Thanks for watching again. Appreciate it. If again this video's help, like, subscribe to the channel, share with your friends. And if you want more information on FSide DFS, go to the description of the video and all the information is there for that. And you can always hit me up on Discord at MegaRoar31. It's free to get into the FSide Discord if you want to talk and ask any questions about your lineups. Help you out a little bit. That can't give full lineups out. I know keep on asking for that. It's against DK policy. We give 3 core people. That's why my primes are 3 each week, and then I talk about other scenarios and fill-ins and stuff to try to help you build the rest of your lineup. But it is not good for us to give out full lineups or for any of you to give it or to share it because DK, if they catch you, they are a pain to try to get your account unlocked and get it back. Um, from what I hear. Um, Mine's only got locked because I went to go visit my parents in Syracuse and I left my laptop up with it on. I thought I was in Pennsylvania and New York City at the same place. And that was an honest mistake. And trust me, it was like an act of Congress to try to get my account unlocked. So please, please, please follow their guidelines. They're fun to use, they're fun to play, and you got to make sure that you're playing by the rules or you'll be locked out. So, thanks for watching. Good luck in your contest. Hope you have an amazing weekend. I'll see you next week for Homestead. Which is going to be a lot of same day practice and qualifying. The truck window's super tight, so which is annoying. I'll try to do speculation videos, and we'll see if we get like 1,500 views on this again. Maybe I'll throw out the sheet again for free. So we'll see how you do, like supporting me, and I can support you back with the real information. So we'll see how that goes. So thanks for watching. Good luck in your contest. Have an amazing weekend. I'll see you next time.